Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Well, just up in the shop today doing a little cleanup. As you can see, pretty cloudy, still getting decent solar. Temperature's pretty nice finally, not freezing in Hawaii. It was never freezing actually, but hey, yeah, in cleaning up, I've identified a pretty serious problem. So here I am, needing the table space for some other things. This has done nothing but take up room for months, and that's that old Power Queen, and I'm ready to get that thing out of here. I'm done with it completely. Even bought a brand new BMS to put on there, but as I showed you guys before, and some of you will remember, there's swollen cells in there. There's welded terminals. I've tried to get some people that I know to assist me with this, and no one wants to deal with it. I'm tired of looking at it. I want to just get rid of it. And I kid you not, I have spent the past 2 hours on the phone trying to figure out where can I get rid of that here on the east side of Hawaii. And when I say I've called everyone, I've called solar shops. I've called people that are bringing in palletfuls of these batteries, recycling centers, everything I could think of. Just going down the list, making the calls. Hey, how do I get rid of this lithium iron phosphate safely, environmentally safe as well? I found one company today out of the numerous entities that I called that would do it. Am I encouraged by that? So the problem that I see is I can't believe I'm the only person that has had a complete failure of a lithium iron phosphate battery out here. Everybody I know on solar is running these things right now. There's just tons of it being brought in, literally, right? Tons of it. This can't be the only battery on the island that needs to be safely and properly disposed of. The one company that I found that said, yeah, we'll take it, $20 a pound is the fee they charge for recycling. So I have roughly 100 pounds of cells sitting there, which is just a typical 100 amp hour 48 volt lithium iron phosphate battery, which is kind of the go-to for everybody out here. And there's plenty of them available on the market, plenty of them, for basically $1,000. Not bad, not a bad price. $2,000 to get rid of? Are you kidding me? So I try to do everything out here without damaging the environment. So when you get a quote like that, $2,000 to get rid of your $1,000 battery, that's a problem. And the way I see it, the problem is people are going to take matters into their own hand, disregard some of the environmental concerns and safeties, and start dumping this stuff off. And by that, I mean they're just going to be throwing it at the transfer station. And that's where everyone takes their refuse here. We take it to a transfer station. You basically throw everything away that you want to get rid of. And then they separate and do what they do to get some of that stuff off the island. I don't know all of the ins and outs of how that transfer station works, but there's going to be a problem. I mean, I'm not going to take that thing down there, throw it in a a container refuse bin at the transfer station and then just say out of sight, out of mind for my problem. I want to do the right thing. So it is not hard to get these type of batteries out here now at all. And that's what's different from the past few years. When I first started having batteries sent out here for reviews, I got so many people saying, wow, how are you getting those? How are you getting those? Well, they were being sent to me. And now they're being sent to lots of people. And they're coming in by the palletfuls. I believe most, if not all, distributors out here are selling lithium iron phosphate batteries now. You don't have to go any further than Craigslist to see people bringing them in here en masse. And no one knows what to do with them when one fails. I see that as a fundamental problem out here. I want to protect the island, protect the environment, do things the right way. But who can afford to pay double the cost to get rid of it? That's how I see it. That's a problem. They're not meant to be heading to the landfill. They're not. It's not good. That's an issue. Needs to be addressed. I want that battery gone. I've wanted it gone for months. Probably working on a couple of years by now with the fits that it gave me. That's bound to happen occasionally, right? We get a lemon. They get here okay, but they don't leave here okay. And at $2,000 a battery recycling fee, I got a question, what are you going to do with it after you take it off of my hands? Where's it going? It's always a problem out here with getting rid of hazardous waste, and yet there's no shortage of it available in any given store. Doesn't matter what you're putting on your ground, for whatever reason or anything else, too much of it ends up back in the ocean, stuck in the environment. So, what are we to do? I'm not paying that kind of money to open up the table for a little more workspace. So here I'm going to look at it for a little while longer. It was suggested by one of you months ago during this dilemma of just trying to get the battery back up and working, ingest, take it out and toss it in that volcano. So what? We got to wait till the lava gets a little closer and just leave it out in the path? Yeah. And I've had another friend said, yeah, bring it down to my place and we'll use those cells for target practice. Yeah, well then what? I mean, I'm just kidding, of course, but it speaks of a larger problem. And let's hear from you guys what kind of disposal you have around the country, around the world for these things. I'm not the only one with a dead lithium iron phosphate battery sitting around, and I want to do the right thing. I had totally planned a different kind of video today where I was going to need that space, and I just started making some phone calls. Once again, this isn't the first time that I've tried to find out how to get rid of these things. So to me, there needs to be a solution. If we're allowing these products in, there's got to be a way out. All right, you guys. Aloha. What's it cost in your neck of the woods to get rid of one of these things properly? All right. Well, I just had to go with the flow of that today.